I got a confession to make. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very selfishly selfless. I'm looking at this for the first time since they was born, and I just cried. My mantra every day is the blessings don't stop, so we don't stop. Wilmington, Delaware, everybody rise.
Hey, we finally got it. What's up, y'all? I'm your girl, Jamila Mustafa with BET Talks, and joining me today is one of the greatest rap legends alive. I'm talking about the man that sold over 20 million albums, over 60 million records certified platinum and gold, and 12 Grammy nominations and counting. He's a certified icon, a certified legend. Nobody's touching his lyrical prowess, and today he is here right with me. The Busta Rhymes is in the building.
That intro was crazy and incredible. Thank you, Queen.
All I'm just thinking about is all your lyrics when I'm on a mic. I had to come on when I'm on a mic. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Queen.
And for your years of dedication. You are just illuminating, and I'm not talking about the pinky ring. It's just you. Can we have some fun?
I'm with you all the way. Let's do it. The energy is feeling incredible. Let's just go wherever it takes us.
Okay. Here's the game. The Coming or When Disaster Strikes?
That's a tough one. When Disaster Strikes was the better album to me, but The Coming was the life-changing moment for me. Everything kind of went into cruise control after The Coming. Getting to the point to feel comfortable enough to make The Coming was challenging. I never really had the desire to be a solo artist. You know, coming from being in a group always was kind of like a support system and a comfort zone for me. I always wanted to be a dope MC and represent hip-hop in every dynamic, so I learned how to do all of it. So I was like a popper and a breakdancer and a graffiti artist and a DJ first. The rhyming thing wasn't really the thing that I wanted to be. It kind of happened by default. When it did happen, and I started to understand that that's the part of hip hop that get the most shine out of all of this. I'm gonna do this MC thing because I like the way that shine is feeling, but I didn't like the idea of not being able to have my dudes on stage to bounce off of me all the time. And I overthought everything. It took me forever to come up with the songs. That's why from the time Leaders ended to The Coming, it was like 3 years before I actually got that project finished. And then every album came every year after that. It was really just a challenge of getting that transition and finding my comfort. But when it happened, it just, life changed like significantly, man. It was probably the fastest platinum records that I ever put out from any project. The lifestyle changes, the money changes. And I think the thing for me that was the proudest moment too was being able to comfortably know that I could take care of my son, because I was the youngest in Leaders of the New School, but the first one to have a child.
How old were you then when he was born?
I was 21 when my oldest was born. The first thing I did with that money when I got it, had my moms no longer work for anyone. I had the opportunity to do that before I did anything for myself.
Most people, like they say, you know, I bought a chain with the money, I was supposed to do this. People dream about moments like that, right? Like you can walk up in there, or how you gonna do it? Mama, get your stuff and let's go.
That's a fact.
How did you release your mom from never having to work for another man again?
I had the conversation with her because I knew I needed my mom's, like how a child always really need their mother. With my business though.
Yes.
My mother worked for a law firm called Winston and Strawn at the time. So she was really like sharp with legal everything. So when it came to like forming a corporation for Leaders of the New School and her assigning the different parents of the group to play different roles in the corporation. Like, I think Brown's mom's was the vice president, my mom's was the president. I think Dinko's father was the treasurer, and Brown's brother was the secretary. And, you know, they had us on this system of putting ourselves on salary so we wouldn't blow through the money.
Wow.
And then they would deduct the taxes from the bi-weekly payrolls that we was on.
It was legit.
So we would never owe taxes. Like, we really treated it like a serious business, and we wouldn't have did that at 16, 17 while we was in school still. We was thinking about buying Sherlins and Fila sweatsuits and Van Grack sweatsuits and just blowing through money trying to be fly in school, but they gave us structure, and my mother really was the leader of that charge. When I went solo, the money was so different, and I didn't have anyone else that I knew the business the way she knew, just legal business. She had to learn entertainment industry business, but she knew law. And
she had that foundation.
And then what I really needed my moms for was to help me with the raising of my children, because I was wilding when I was young. So I was carrying on, and the mothers was carrying on a little bit too, and we wasn't ready. I don't think anyone could actually understand how to prepare for fatherhood and motherhood motherhood. You kind of learn as you go along. You learn from the way you was raised. And my mother and my father did an amazing job with the way family was upheld and the integrity and the morals and the principles and the respect from just what was customary in the house to what was the cultural aesthetic. Being in that West Indian household with Jamaican parents, it was just a lot of shenanigans they wasn't condoning and tolerating. And the beautiful thing about that was my kids was able to get the upbringing that they got from me, but then they also got the upbringing that I got from my parents.
Yes.
So that's part of the experience that you had with Trillion, that manners and that respect and that discipline and that ability to just show you that there's a warm welcome every time he
Absolutely. As they say sometimes, for women, they could say, you know, I can tell if you had a mother or your father in your life.
Right.
But for a man, is a saying you can tell who you're raised by. And they say, who raised you? And so to meet him and to see the type of man he was and say, who raised you? And know it was Busta Bust, I said, oh man. You know, it was incredible. And thank you for sharing that. And we're gonna continue with the game. Now the Source Awards or the BET Hip Hop Awards?
I would have to say the BET Hip Hop Awards, and I ain't saying that because it's BET. My only flaw with the BET Hip Hop Awards is the way the award show was treated from a production value side. Y'all corny for that. Y'all don't financially support the production value of the Hip Hop Awards because from the venue all the way down to just the production, it's just nowhere near what the BET Awards, the big one. That production value is so pristine compared to the Hip Hop Awards that I don't respect that. And I think y'all should do something about that. I'm putting it out there so that y'all know that we know and we talk about it. This doesn't feel like the respect is warranted or valued in the same way for them to treat it from a production value side the way hip-hop deserves to be treated. But again, I picked the Hip Hop Awards over the Source Awards because I love the fact that a MC in the Hip Hop Awards can actually get their flowers like how you would give a Lifetime Achievement Award to an artist on the regular BET Awards. Hip-hop artists don't really get that too many other places.
When you talk about hip-hop, like you said, the BET Awards, it's a different budget. Do you think it's a larger conversation in terms of how hip-hop is viewed and in terms of where the dollars go into hip-hop? You being a pioneer, you being a legend. Do you think that there should be more focus and more icons like yourself speaking out saying, hey, as a whole, we need to put a spotlight on hip-hop because hip-hop is really holding up the musical culture?
Not only do I believe that wholeheartedly, but those conversations have been had from the BET Awards to the way the streaming platform will disrespectfully compensate artists for their content. And I'm not just talking about the streaming component, I'm talking about from the beginning of time. You know, every artist gets significantly robbed, and it's so funny because in my new album that I'm finishing as we speak,
which I can't wait for,
there's a skit speaking directly to what we're talking about. I love hip hop very much, and the game has been good to me, and the game has been good to my family. And, you know, a lot of people want to complain, and you are entitled to complaining. The difference between me and probably most people is I'm gonna have fun while I'm getting robbed. And I'm also going to hold everyone accountable that's robbing me. Because justice is the reward or penalty for one's actions or deed. So at the end of the day, at some point, you're gonna get held accountable. And it may not even be through me. But the bottom line is what I am capable of doing and with what's within my means, I'm gonna do it. So I feel like the conversation, yes, should be something that is had with us being on the same page, common cause, common destiny, common goal. We should definitely be more vocal about it, but I don't think we should just talk. I think we need to be having some conversations with the people that are in the positions of power, and we need to have a real understanding established and making certain things make sense. I just hope when the chickens come home to roost, you're ready to
have that bank account ready.
Reconcile.
Every dog has his day. The reason why what you say, you know, one, as an artist, you've never been one to say, give me my shine, or I deserve this, or where's my accolade. But in due time, you know, it's undoubtedly that you are one of the greatest.
Busta Rhymes!
The Hollywood Walk of Fame star will only prove it. What does that symbolize or mean to you and your family?
It symbolizes the continuing of how beautiful life has become, especially in the last 4 to 5 years, once I made the decision to get out of my own way. And once I made a decision to remove people that needed to get away from me too. It has improved everything for me, from the upswing of my business, the receiving of the flowers and the abundances. It's feeling like it's now a botanical garden that I'm receiving at this point. the relationship with me and my beautiful children. I got a confession to make. I'm gonna be honest. I have 6 beautiful children and 4 mothers. Grateful to the mothers as well, even though we went through challenges. I have never seen all of my children in the same room sleeping together and since they was born, until I got my Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. That weekend was the first time that I flew all of the kids in, got them tailored up and pampered up, and we had a good 4 to 5 days together, and we do the whole award show, and you know, I'm looking at my kids there. I'm in tears on the stage because I'm bugging on this whole surreal moment. Took so long to give me this. I got so much to say. Then we go to the party after, and then we get on and we perform the after party for the BET Awards. So I go back to the suite, and they all come. All of my kids is grown, so you know, we toasting together, and we sipping together, and we just decided to watch a couple of movies in the suite together. And then each one of them started to drop asleep. And I'm looking at this for the first time since they was born, and I just cried. It was a lot of times when I wanted to get my kids together, and I just couldn't navigate that because of the nature of the relationships at the time with the mothers. The beautiful thing is now me and the mothers is super cool. And you know, sometimes time heals things. When we're talking about these moments, you know, with the BET Lifetime Achievement Award, the Global Icon Award with MTV.
And excuse me, Bus, not to interrupt you, but that's the European Global Icon Award. That's international.
Absolutely.
When you did that one. Please
Absolutely.
continue.
Thank
Vic.
you, Queen.
Yes.
Thank you, Queen. Officially being blessed with the citation of having my own day in Brooklyn on November 23rd, being able to get this Hollywood star. It's just all a testament to how you can manifest the way things are gonna play out in a tangible way based on what you put in the universe, based on the energy you giving to your peers and how you lifting people up. Yeah, we gonna disagree. We not gonna see eye to eye all the time. But the beautiful thing is being able to just acknowledge your wrongdoings and apologize for it or correct the error and show your people, especially when you got good people around, that you value them and you value that. It took me some time to get to that place. Once I got there, this thing just started to move in a whole nother way. And it's been incredibly beautiful and incredibly fulfilling. A lot of happiness and joy and peace of mind. There's so much wisdom that I've been able to acquire in the process of this journey that I be feeling like I'm obligated to share.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very selfishly selfless with this time that I'm having.
You a whole new Busta Bus.
I want to share this happiness with everybody while I understand how to be real happy now. And I also ain't letting nobody play with my happiness neither. I ain't compromising that. I'm not negotiating that. Stealing my joy. All of that is non-negotiable stipulations. My mantra every day is the blessings don't stop, so we don't stop. And I want to share it with everybody that's worthy of sharing it with, because you also got to protect the space too.
And you talk about that, clearing out the circle, inviting new energy, and you're sharing the stage and your space, not only with your children, but with the world.
Yeah.
This is a new Busta Bus. May I call you that? I keep doing Busta Bus. Is that, you know,
Of course.
Thank you. So this leads me to put your hands where my eyes can see, or hoo-ha.
Put your hands where my eyes can see. Yeah, woo-ha was along the lines of what people have known to grow and love me for. But put your hands, and I ain't gonna front. I gotta give all of the credit for why and how I even approached that record to Diddy. Because at the time when I did that song, he was just like, yo, Bus, man, the chicks don't wanna round with you all the time on no records, son. Chicks don't wanna do that all the time, son. Just talk to the ladies, bro. You got a dope regular voice. Talk to the women. And it was funny because I was mimicking Diddy with the take that. In East Flatbush, Brooklyn, a lot of the Caribbean melting pot that's there, the Jamaicans in particularly, especially during the Reaganomics era when a lot of the hustling was happening, they would still speak in their accent and just throw the word yo at the end because yo was the thing that Americans did all the time. So they thought that just adding the word yo was gonna make them look like they was blending in with the American accent. There was a dude on the corner of the block that used to sell weed, and he seen me in Spliff, and he would be like, yo, Spliff on Busta. You're rich now, you're up on TV, you need $100 US, yo. Word, yo. Word, yo. Bless me with some money, yo. I took the Diddy voice tone, and then I took his funny ass trying to blend in, still sounding like a Jamaican accent, and I combined it. That's how to hit you with no delays and what you saying, yo. And so that's how that came together. But the dude doing the ad-libs in the background, that was the guy that used to be my road manager at the time. His name is Gerald Odom. He got the beat from this brother named Shamello, rest in peace to Shamello, and Buddha. These two brothers produced the track. And then I said, yo, I need you to go in the studio and I need you to sound like Diddy on the ad-libs. So the whole thing was me mocking Diddy, and mocking the Jamaican dude, and then I went to the studio and played it for Diddy. And I'm like, I did your little low voice song, corny mom. So he's like, let me hear it. So I played a song for him, and it broke the room up in half. Fat Joe was there too. That song definitely changed life as I knew it at the time, even with the success of The Coming and Woo-Ha.
I can tell that you had fun in the studio with the record because the music video. What you're known for when you talk about music, tell me about not only to put your hands where my eyes can see, but you as a creative in your music videos.
Every single video was my idea. Hype Williams was the most brilliant at executing any idea that I came up with. So when we did Woo-Ha, the video was actually my album photo shoot, and I brought the pictures to him, and I said, I need you to create this for the video. Not having a bunch of money at the time, my brother named Rashid Booth, he's an imam now, Muslim brother, he used to take us to the fabric district to get like 6 yards of fabric to make our outfits. And at the time, it's like $5 a yard. 1 yard would be to cover up your Timberlands with the fabric. The rest of the fabric would be to make a coat and a pair of pants or whatever. He made about 10, 12 outfits for me because I was starting to get known for these crazy outfits. The brilliance that Hype brought was that fisheye lens. He was like, yo, Bus, you remind me of cartoons on Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam and all of them, like the way you move when you perform, and I got this lens that can exaggerate that. So like when I saw it, it was mind-blowing. I'm a movie buff because I also love to act. So a lot of the videos came from movies that I was in love with. Obviously, I know Put Your Hands is Coming to America. Dangerous video was Lethal Weapon with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Me and Janet video was Terminator 2 with the Liquid Robot. All of the TV shows, movies that I wish I was in. So I would just do my own version of them things.
Speaking of movies, Naked Gun movie, you're gonna be starring in a new film.
Well, first and foremost, big up to the team over at UTA and my agent who got the opportunity for me by the name of Aaron Arkin. Super salute to him. When that opportunity came, I wasn't gonna play with it because I'm sure most of us grew up on Naked Gun in here. But I'm also a huge fan of Liam Neeson. You know what I'm saying? I love how he be just breaking everybody's face up in every movie he's in. But I thought that this was a dope turn for him because he was gonna be seen in a new way, because even though he's breaking people up in the movie, there's still a dope comedic component. For me, I haven't done films in a while because there was an experience that transpired with the producer of the film Shaft that kind of turned me off from even wanting to be in the Hollywood
The remake
space.
Shaft.
Yeah, with Sam Jackson. It turned me off from wanting to be in films because I just felt like if this is what people have to subject themselves to, I'm not built for it. Without going into detail, I just fell back from films for a minute, but I was still blessed to have some incredible opportunities even after that film, like Finding Forrester with the late, great, incredible Sean Connery and Robert Brown, and Narc with Ray Liotta and Jason Patrick. And I think that was probably my last film after that.
So this is exciting.
It's exciting because it was a
Back to the
huge
big screen,
opportunity to
Busta
in a
Bus.
big way, like to step back in it and be able
And with
to
Liam
be.
Nielsen, come on.
Yeah, a huge production like this was incredibly dope. Also, the movie Bad Guys 2, the animated Pixar film, I was blessed with the opportunity to do the theme song for that movie.
You're on fire, Busta. I got to cool you down. Seriously, this is, and then of course the album.
Nah,
and
you gotta
of course,
throw
the tour.
gasoline on the fire, Queen. You gotta keep blazing it.
I'm gonna put it out because it's gonna come back. That's one thing about you. The cream of the crop always rise to the top.
That's a fact.
When you mention the animated series and the cartoons, gotta go back to the game.
Yes.
The Boondocks, or Everybody Still Hates Chris.
Boondocks. 7-star general rank salute to Chris Rock for blessing me with the opportunity to have a character in Everybody Hates Chris animated series. I wouldn't be a part of that if it wasn't dope as hell. But you can't front on the rawness of Boondocks. And I gotta salute Aaron Magruder because the general created something as raw and as unfiltered and as unpolitically correct as that in a way that I don't think any of us have ever seen before. Bring it back too, homie.
Yes.
Bring it back. All right, Mr. Magruder, bring it back, bruh.
There's no question that you are literally getting started on a whole new level of your career. If there were to be a biopic, who would play Busta Rhymes in the Busta Bus biopic?
It would have to be different Busta Rhymeses. It would have to be the one from when I signed my deal at 17 years old, when I still had the fade and a dried-ass S-curl in the top of my hair. It was dry as hell. I was not with spending the money on the TCB gels and all of that. But the dryness of the S-curl ended up becoming the twist that led to the dreads. The Busta Rhymes with the full-blown dread, I see some subtle kin connection in Lil Baby, especially now that he got the dreads and he be putting it up in the styles that I used to do. I could see even Drum, I could see him. He got the personality, and me meeting him a few times and vibing with him in the studio, he definitely has the personality of the Busta Rhymes that y'all have known to grow and love. So off the top of the head, I think those is the two.
Those are great picks. Everybody better start getting their practice on because I'm auditioning too. We don't discriminate. Busta, listen, I'm coming through. You know what I'm hitting you with. You know, silly with the 9 milli with the dilly. Yo, come on. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. When you talk about legacy, give me your 3 favorite songs. Just your favorite for any reason.
Everybody Rise is one of them. Put Your Hands Where Mine Can See is another. I'm only saying these 3 for this moment, but it's way more than these 3. The title track for the Genesis album. At that time, I didn't think that the fans or the consumers understood my goal and my effort to be the best everything for them was being acknowledged or appreciated by them in the way that I wanted them to. So when I wrote that song, it was super duper important to me to be able to articulate that burning desire that I had at the time to make sure that they knew that I wasn't playing. Not just with this art, but I wasn't playing with them. When I did Everybody Rise, it was just me making sure that I had an anthem that I could scream no matter what city I was in, because I acknowledged every city on the map that I could possibly think of throughout the whole country.
To Delaware, but you did everybody else.
Sorry.
You did everybody. You did the closer states.
You know, maybe it was because it was hard to say Wilmington, Delaware.
Now, you know you can say any word on the breast while you're the lyrical prowess.
Wilmington, Delaware, everybody rise.
Hey, we finally got it. But seriously, and I just want to say that, like you said when we started the interview, your blessings are abundant.
No
and
question.
you will always be blessed, and you are the king. Okay, I love this new chapter, Busta Rhymes. Thank you for your knowledge. If you can leave us with one word that sums up your vibe for 2025, what are you on, Busta Bus?
I'm just gonna continue to stay in the blessed energy space, and that's the most important thing for me. The blessings ain't gonna stop as long as you know how to make sure that you leave that portal free for you to be able to receive them. And a lot of the times, it's as simple as getting out your own damn way. And as long as the blessings don't stop, there's no reason for you to stop. The time that people will invest focusing on the wrong shenanigans of whatever problems that you're dealing with instead of putting that same amount of time into focusing on being solution-based. And the way that you approach it is going to determine the outcome.
Next up, Book of Philosophy. Thank you so much. Congratulations. We love you, Busta Rhymes, man. You the one. You the one. I need that.
Jamila.
Because the gems you dropped, I said, let me get them. Let me get them. The gems where my eyes can see.